In today's episode of What Idiot Did This? Ooh, I hope this doesn't break. Tap the button. Woohoo! All right, it works. If you have any of these symptoms that I'm about to describe, you'll want to watch this video. If you own a Lexus of this era, early 2000s all the way up to the current ones, LX 570 is what I've got here, but pretty much all the Lexus vehicles and a bunch of the Toyota vehicles of the 2000s, these are symptoms that probably apply to you if a stupid technician that doesn't know what he's doing has tinkered around in there and tried to replace a cabin filter and broken something. So stay tuned. And the most important symptom that a lot of people don't even know, if you own a Lexus of this era, most of the Lexuses, including the LX 570, you start the truck up and it seems like the AC takes forever to come on. Easy way to tell is just open your glove box, pop that little cover off, and if you cycle between fresh air and recirculation and that flap doesn't move, something's broken in there or dislodged. The symptoms are, if you have smoke smells or any outdoor smells always coming into your truck, despite having on recirculation, that thing's probably not working. It's probably stuck in the down position and you're always sucking in outside dirty air. If you cycle it from recirculation to fresh air and it always seems like it's inside air, it might be stuck in the open position. And the obvious one, if you pull that little cover off where you change the filter and the thing's not moving, even with these two being selected back and forth, then it's obviously not working. Look at the mess I got myself into. All right, let me tell you what's going on. Hey, almost forgot. If you like this sort of content and you've got an LX 570 or Land Cruiser, click that subscribe button below so it helps support the channel and so you get the videos popping up in your feed every now and then. If you actually want to be notified whenever I upload a new video, hit that little bell icon next to the subscribe button, and I think that's what YouTube has to send you notifications whenever I do upload new videos. Let me know if it works or not. I've never tried it myself, but I think that's what you're supposed to do. Anyway, love y'all. See you next time. If you've got a Lexus or a Toyota from the mid to the late 2000s, 2020s, you open up this little cover in the glove box to change your filter that clearly says, well, not the first few years they use this style, but in the later years it says AC filter maintenance. Use only, or only use, recirculation mode. I guess not terribly clear, but what that means is put this in recirculation mode before you go trying to yank stuff out of here. And what happens a lot is you see these things go in for maintenance. Technician who doesn't know any better forces this thing open and either dislocates or breaks something, and then your recirculation door is like this, not connected to anything. Awesome. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see in the video, there's a brand new filter in there. Somebody obviously just replaced this, probably from the dealership where I purchased this guy. So now I need to figure out whether they broke the recirculation door or one of the hinges or mechanisms, or if it's just dislocated and I need to pop it back into place. So where we got to start is taking the glove box off and the paneling underneath so that we can get access to look up inside there. As you can see from here, it's hard to see really anything. You can see the corners where those attach, right there and right there, and they're on the hinge, or whatever you call that, on the knob. They haven't fallen off or broken there, which happens sometimes. So we got to take this thing off and see what the rest of the hardware looks like, what's either broken or disconnected. Let's go underneath So this panel right here needs to come off. In order to do that, you've got clips along the edge that faces the rear of the car. That's the front of the car. These clips face the rear edge, so you push them towards the front, and it releases the clip. You see that? There's another one right here. Push forward, releases that. Another one here, released, and another one here. And that's released as well. Super easy to do. It drops down, don't yank it out. Don't bend downwards, you want to pull towards you because there's a tab right there, and right there. The one with the little foam things, and those push into a couple of holes. So you don't want to bend it down, you might risk breaking those. So pull it backwards towards you. And then you'll notice you've got a connector here. You want to gently push on this little tab right here and pull it out. Sorry, needed both hands. Then you've got another one right. Let's see, how do we get to that? Is there a disconnect up here? No, there's not. So when you disconnect this one, what is that? Is that a temperature sensor or something? That's got to be a temperature sensor, I bet. Get all this junk out of here. Yeah, there's the connector. I'm gonna put the camera down for a minute so I can use my hands. Oh, there it is. So that foam thing right here, see that hole? It was on that hook right there. So gently pry it that way, the foam, and lift up and it'll come off. We'll expose this connector. It's got some foam on it, probably to avoid rattling against the plastic. Yeah, I can take this out without removing the foam. You see that tab right there, push down on it and pull away. Can I do it with one hand? Let's see, what do you think? My one-handed skills are getting good with all this filming. All right, fine, I needed two hands. All right, those two are disconnected. We can take this tray out. Got that put aside. Let's see what else we have up here. Now we've got the glove box. It's got one screw down there in that corner and one screw here, or bolt, that attaches the bottom side of it. In order to get to those on this side, we need to remove this trim piece right here. In order to remove this trim piece, we've got to get that little plastic nut off. Just unscrew it like you would a metal nut. There you go. Unscrewed. And you want to pull on it away from the carpet. Get it off the head of that stud. The top of it is not attached to anything. And then on this part, you can kind of pull that rubber back, grab a hold of here, undo it from the clips. Okay, now grab it here. All right, that's all undone. And then I think all of this is going to be part of that trim as well. So I'm going to pull up gently. Yep, there you go. Most of this is just held on by clips. Yep, pull up, pull up. All right, there you see. Now that's loose, and you can see it's attached to that as well. There's a tab at the top of this that goes upwards, so don't just yank it out. And more than likely, you've got a lit logo here. So on the bottom, you more than likely have a wire. Let's disconnect that. Got that removed. And I think that's it, yeah. All right, that is off right there. Let's put it aside. This is what you've got remaining. You've got all your cables running through the footwell. So this has a clip right around here, I think, and it's got a some kind of a bolt or something that's attached to a stud right here that you can rotate it on. so it'll rotate like this. So easiest way is pull it out towards you slightly, and you might have to pull up right here and pull on this leather panel a little bit to get the clip far enough away, and then rotate it downwards. Not a lot, just enough. Let me see, can I do it more than that? Yeah, that's about it. Just enough to where you can see the head of that bolt. So now we can see that 10mm bolt. Next, I am going to undo that. And I'm gonna undo these two. 1, 2. Then once those are off, there's 2 more bolts at the top. If we're looking inside the glove box, that are under this plastic cover and this plastic cover, which both just pop off. You can slip something at the top side of them, a little gap up there, and they'll pop off. Let me see, can I do it from the back side? Yeah, pops right off. You can see those right there, 10mm heads as well. I'm gonna put this clip aside. Let me take that one off. I'm gonna go get my trim removal tool, my little plastic tool. Works better, and I'm not gonna mess up my fingernails, because you know, a man's gotta have nice fingernails. Just kidding. Let me get those off. Bolt, 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 bolt. For that bolt, you're not gonna be able to use one of these. There's no space. What you wanna use is one of these, a ratcheting closed end wrench. I'm gonna put a link down in the description. A cheap set on Amazon that you can purchase. You'll use them very often. If you don't have a set of these, they're a lifesaver. Much easier than trying to do this any other way. Okay, looks like I need to take some more off. You're welcome. That I'm struggling with this, so you can see my struggles. So with those bolts off of the bottom, this bottom panel, you can see it, it comes off and removes itself from the glove box. And on that side, that bolt I took off is good, and I think there's another one somewhere right here behind this leather panel. So this piece right here needs to come off. How do you take it off? Well, looks like you just grab it around this area, right back there, and maybe right here, and you pull back on it, back towards the back of the truck. So let me show you. Grab here, there it is. Amazing how much of these newer cars just clip together. So that's out. You can see that big old clip right there. Now I'm gonna gently pry up. Ooh, I hope this doesn't break. Nope, all good. Oh wow, came off really easy. Okay, well, if you ever need to remove that piece, it comes off really simply. I'm gonna put it over there. Let's try not to scratch the leather. Okay, we'll just leave it right there. Now this is what we've got left. Okay, so this is off. This is off. And down here, let's see what was holding the rest of this bottom panel. So bottom panel goes over this little guy. This is one of those little push clips. You push the middle of it. Can you see it? Let me focus here for you guys. Is that better? So you grab something pointy, push the middle of it in, it'll pop in, and then put something under the clip and pry it out, and that's it. So there's that carpeted piece along with the little clip. All right, now, oh, we still got one other thing that's holding this. What is that? Is there? Hold on, let's pull this guy out. Okay, so, yep, you pull it out towards the back of the truck. These clips here, so don't pull down. Pull towards the back. And here, what else is holding this? Let me do some inspecting here. You know, I think it's just this clip. Let me gently pull towards the back of the truck. Okay, that's out. Is that it? feels like something else is holding this. So these are all out, but I still, so there's that bolt right there that I took out. Oh, there's one more bolt. I see it. I see it now. Let's go to the bottom, zoom out. Yep, there it is. All right, let's take that off. Okay, it's really hot. It's Texas summer. It's 105 degrees outside. Garage door's open. I've got the fan blowing. I'm still hot. Okay, there we go. Any wires? Yep, I got a wire right there. That is probably for the airbag at your knees. All right, I can't see really well out of my glasses right now, and I don't want to risk damaging that connector, so I'm just gonna leave this gently laying right here. I'm gonna grab something to put under it just to take some of the tension off that wire. There we go. It's always good to have random boxes of car parts around. Now there's no more tension on that wire. Next, I want to remove 2 more bolts at the bottom. One right here and one right over there, opposite of each other. Let's get those off. Now that those bottom ones are off, the bottom should be loose. And if you grab the entire glove box and pull towards you, towards the back of the truck, don't pull down. There's clips up here. Clip, clip, clip. There might be another 1 or 2. Pull back towards you. There we go. Back towards you. And it comes out. Do it gently. Rotate the entire thing. And you'll see a wire that connects over there for light. Right there. Disconnect that guy, and you can put the glove box aside. Voila, magic. Now that's all out, and we are looking at the blower assembly. Your blower fan's in there. It spins that way. If you look inside there, you can see that your blower is right there. Oh. What is that? Get that out of there. It's junk. That little stuff right there, whenever you're in here, changing a filter or anything, always peek inside there. Make sure there's no junk left in there from previous lazy, sloppy technicians. Okay, not catching on anything, not making any ticking sounds. Spins are fine. Okay, so that's good. Now, what we need to do is find out why this thing's flopping around. I don't know exactly how this thing's put together, so let's see. Is there anything there? Not really, is there? I don't think so. There's no servo motor or anything. I think that's just attached at that hinge point right there. But it's just rotating there. It's not being controlled by anything. Let's see. Where is the gizmo that controls this? It's got to be on this side. Let's check out this side. All right, so there's that. Okay, so that black thing is the servo motor that controls this. So there is something there that should be attached to that door that goes up and down, right? Let me see if I can get a good shot, because this camera can see in there better than I can. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start the truck and change the mode from recirculation to fresh air and back, and I'm gonna observe that guy in there and see what it does. Let me show you where I am so far. So I removed a couple parts. Let me put them back where they go, and I'll show you what came from where. Where was this? Backwards, yeah, like that. So this was in here. Wait a second. It's like that, isn't it? You gotta love it. Okay, like that. So this was in here like that. There's a bolt here, and there was a bolt here. These two bolts. This one and this one. So I removed that bolt, and I removed that one, so I can get this little controller out of the way. Just hang it down. And then I went back here and I found a little contraption that attaches to the door. As you can see, the door is not moving now. And it's this guy. Let me show you if I can get a good shot of it. Right there. You see that little arm? There's the actuator, and there's the arm. That little arm needs to attach to this, which is the door. Is this guy, right? You see how loose that is? Well, now I popped that little arm into the wrong side of this, and now it won't close. Before it was shut and wasn't staying up. So what I'm gonna do, or attempt to do, is take this little guy, you see that? And pop it over, oh yeah, see, now it's lower, into some sort of position that makes sense on that little arm. You see that? That's the outside half of this guy. So let me see if I can do that, and then we'll start the truck and see if it operates correctly. Let me see if I can do that, and then we'll start the truck and see if it operates correctly. So I think I got it where it's supposed to go, and I'm going to try to get a camera shot of it so you guys can see. I don't know if it will work. Let's give it a shot. No, I can't really get a good shot of it. Let's zoom in some more. So you see where the grease is right there? So there's a rail right here. There's a groove in this bracket here. This groove starts over here and then kind of curves and goes upwards. And on this little guy, there's a little nub on the inside where it's facing this, and that nub needs to fit into that groove. That way when this turns that way, it opens this flap, and when it turns the other way, it closes this flap. So now the flap is shut and not moving, which is good. That's where I want it. That means it's engaged with that. So let's start the truck and see if it works correctly like it should. Truck started. It's on outside air. I'm gonna tap this button to set it to recirculate, and we'll see what happens here. Tap the button, woohoo! All right, it works. Tap the button again, go to outside air. Nice, beautiful. One more time. Okay, one more time. All right, let me see if I can get a shot of that lever and what it's actually doing while it's operating for you guys, so you see what it's actually doing when it moves back and forth. Okay, let me see if I can get a good shot of it. Right about there. Okay, so that's outside air. See what it's doing there? That's inside air. Back to outside air. See if I can zoom in, get you a better view. Maybe we'll be able to see where that little nub is. Okay, that's outside air, inside air, outside air, inside air. Okay, well, that's about the best I can do. If you're lucky and some bonehead didn't break anything, you could slip that nub back in and get this thing operating. Before you go spending a bunch of money on any repair parts, ordering anything, or taking it to the dealer to either deal with a warranty tech that just wants the job and wants to replace all of this, or just somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. If you're very mechanically inclined, this is easy. If you're just barely mechanically inclined, this is still not that hard of a repair. I'm lucky and nothing's broken. If it is broken, one thing I can see being an easy fix that wouldn't cost you anything is you'd have to remove this whole thing, and if that nub is broken off, you could just maybe put a wood screw in there, and instead of the nub, the wood screw would be sticking out that way into that groove, and maybe wrap the end of it with, I don't know, some plastic or Teflon tape or something like that, just so it's not eating a groove, the screw's not eating a groove into the plastic piece that's attached to this guy over there. Maybe that'd work, I don't know. Or there might be another way to fix it. I think there's a guy on Etsy that sells some sort of a repair kit for these when they do fail or break at the corners. That might be worth a shot. I'll put a link down to his Etsy listing in the description below. But if you're lucky, it probably only broke like this. I would much rather spend this, I think it's been 35 minutes, even with me filming and trying to figure things out. If you watch this video and do this on your own, it shouldn't take you more than 15 or 20 minutes, tops. It's a pretty quick fix if this is how it failed. But I'd rather spend this 15-20 minutes instead of taking it to the dealer and having them pull this out for a warranty replacement if you are under warranty. Even if you're under warranty and it's free or has a small deductible, I'd still much rather fix it myself, because I don't want those idiots at the dealership pulling any of this apart, because I don't trust that they would put it back together correctly. Almost all the time they're going to break a tab or something, and then you put it back together and something ends up rattling, driving you crazy for the rest of the time you own the vehicle. I don't trust any of those guys. If it's not messy and doesn't involve a whole bunch of oil splattering everywhere in my garage, I will always do it myself, even though I purchased warranty out to 125,000 miles with this thing. But I consider that just for the catastrophic stuff. I'm gonna get to putting this back together. I am really happy this was an easy fix. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you have any of the symptoms I described at the beginning of the video, this is more than likely your problem. Easy way to tell is just open your glove box, pop that little cover off that I showed you at the beginning, and if you cycle between fresh air and recirculation and that flap doesn't move, something's broken in there or dislodged, and you need to pay a little bit of attention to it. If you don't remember at the beginning of the video, the symptoms are, if you have smoke smells or any outdoor smells always coming into your truck despite having on recirculation, that thing's probably not working. It's probably stuck in the down position and you're always sucking in outside dirty air. If you cycle it from recirculation to fresh air and it always seems like it's inside air, it might be stuck in the open position. And the obvious one, if you pull that little cover off where you change the filter and the thing's not moving, even with these two being selected back and forth, then it's obviously not working. And the most important symptom that a lot of people don't even know, if you own a Lexus of this era, most of the Lexuses, including the LX 570, you start the truck up and it seems like the AC takes forever to come on. It's because it's stuck in its cycle of checking all the systems and it doesn't see that flap opening and closing correctly, and it just sits there for a while, sometimes thinks about it and then turns the AC on. Sometimes it won't even turn the AC on. Sometimes you'd be in here for 3 minutes and you realize, oh, AC's not on, let me hit the auto button. Okay, now it's on. Really annoying. Those are the common symptoms. So again, hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully this is helpful to a bunch of you guys. Go get your AC fixed. Pop that flap open, make sure it's working. If it's not, tinker around in there and fix it. Hopefully it's not broken, it's just that little tab. In the meantime, I love y'all. I will see you on the next video. Got the glove box and this trim back on. Let's get the rest of this on. If you've never used one of these clips, so the one that went here on the carpet, clip the carpet back in. Remember, we pushed the center in to remove it. In order to put it back in, you actually push the center back out. So push from here back out and allow these little tabs to close back in. You might want to kind of squish them back in with your hand. Then gently wiggle it around and insert it in there. It goes in. Then you push the center in like that and it locks it into place. So that carpet piece is back. Now let's get this big piece of leather trim back on. I'm gonna line up all these little tabs before you push any of them, and just line them up and just make sure it fits in there. I'm gonna start on this side and work my way around. So, okay, in, and in. So all of those are in. Gotta line up this one. You see that tab right there? It's gotta go in to, I don't know if you can see it, into that little hole. Yep, right there. Let's push it in. All right, locked in. All right, that is all in. Make sure it fits nice and snug against that piece of carpet down there. All good. Oh, my greasy hands all over everything. Gotta wipe all this down later. Okay, I put this trim piece on. So trim piece, this one first. We'll get this aligned under there. Remember there was a little stud back there that goes in this hole. Or not that hole, that hole. And that one doesn't go into anything. What goes in there is that little tab at the back of this panel under here. So this has to go on before this panel does. So let's line up that one. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. There's the hole. Let's get this side lined up. See the little clips. Line them up with the holes in the sheet metal so that something's not going on. There we go. That's in. That one down there is in, and that guy is lined up. I'm gonna go ahead and put this little plastic retainer on. You can just push it on. To take it off, I always unscrew it, but to put it on, you can just push it on. Now, I'm gonna put this guy back on. Make sure to plug in that wire. Start on this side, get that tab pushed under there, push these clips in, get it lined up, and take your time. Don't smash this down like a dealership bozo. Take your time. There we go. Make sure the clips and the holes all line up and you get nice firm clicks everywhere as you're pushing down. There we go. All that's in. Next, take your finger, run across the side of this. You see how that weather stripping is not over the plastic, so you just kind of want to grab it, pull it out a little bit, and make sure it's over the trim piece again. All right, there we go. All right, that is all in. Trim is back up where it's supposed to be. Now, let's get that guy on. Now don't forget these 3 tabs, right? You want them to line up with that hole, and that hole right there. So you slide this up into there and then clip it up into place. And you want to do that gently. Make sure these tabs, 1, 2, 3, 4, line up with the holes underneath there as you push it up. Before you connect it, remember, you've got this one that connects to this guy, yeah, right there, and you've got this one that connects to this guy. Got that connected, got this one connected, routed underneath the foam, and then remember you've got this little hole in the foam and it loops in over that tab. Let's see if I can get you a good wide angle view of this. Line that up, line that one up, and that one right there. Okay, is it in? Haha, that's what she said. I think we're good. Now, you want to get these little tabs lined up with those holes. Clip, 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 clip. You want to push directly on each of them to make sure that they're actually clipping into place. Yep, they're all in. And that's it. So that's on. Next thing I'm gonna do, since we're already here and this recirculation vent's already open, I'm gonna put in my new filter. I could use this new filter that the dealership put in before they sold me the truck. Looks like it's a pretty good condition, but this one is complete garbage, is not charcoal infused, and will let all the stink right through. Let me show you what you put in instead. This is what you want to use. There's other ones out there. This is the one I like. I use this brand in our BMW, Mercedes, this truck, other vehicles in the past. It is charcoal activated plus baking soda, and it's got the regular filter layer and an antimicrobial coating. I know, it all seems like advertising, but I can tell you from experience, it really does make a difference in keeping the interior smelling nice and fresh. Let me open it here. So here it is, side by side with the old one. This is the old one. Well, the new old one. And you can see, this is just the paper layer. That's it, right? God, it's already dirty. Gross. Maybe they didn't replace it, and this is just the old one. They said they did. No, they didn't replace it. This thing's gross. There's no way this thing only has 400 miles on it. Anyway, these are the cheap filters. This is very firm. I can't bend it as easily, so this is, you know, kind of real thin material. This is very firm because it's so many layers. You can see the charcoal infused portions there, and baking soda. No, I can't smell baking soda, but apparently it's in there. I can tell you it does make a difference. So in order to take this and put it inside this little plastic frame, we want to remove this guy. There you go, just like that. And put that one in the same way. So the airflow, that direction, right? So the air gets sucked in that way on these trucks. So this would go in this way, blue dot facing out of the glove box, and this says airflow that way. So you want to put it in this direction. You want the white side up towards the top of these tabs. You see where it says up right there? So you want the airflow to go the opposite direction of that up arrow. We'll put it in this way. Bear with me, I'm trying to do this one-handed. And then drop this side in, right there, and right there. Squish it in, one side at a time. All right, needed my hand to get it past these tabs. And then it's in there, ready to go. Now, let's get this guy inserted in here. You want to take this guy. It says up, remember? There's blue dot facing you. Back side has to drop in there and then clips in. All right. Again, make sure your flap is open in recirculation mode. You'll get this guy put in there all the way towards the back. Yeah, there it is. And push it down. Make sure these two clips clipped into place. All good. Then take your button, put it in fresh air mode. Make sure your flap functions and doesn't catch on anything. All right, flap coming downy. All right, put it back in recirculation. Flap goes up. All good. So we're good there. Now we want to put our little cover back on. This guy here. Put our shelf back in. Okay, shelf is in. And we put our crap back in the glove box. Then after we get all that in, we close this and we go celebrate with a cold glass of water or beer, whatever's your jam. Hey, almost forgot. If you like this sort of content and you've got an LX 570 or a Land Cruiser, click that subscribe button below. So help support the channel, and so you get the videos popping up in your feed every now and then. If you actually want to be notified whenever I upload a new video, hit that little bell icon next to the subscribe button. And I think that's what YouTube has to send you notifications whenever I do upload new videos. Let me know if it works or not. I've never tried it myself, but I think that's what you're supposed to do. Anyway, love y'all. See you next time. So before I did that, my AC was doing that whole delay thing that I was describing to you. Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna start this thing up. Let's see. And see how quickly the AC comes on now. It was literally taking like 2 minutes. If I started the truck, waited 45 seconds, then hit the auto button, then it would come on. If I didn't touch anything, it would just not come on. It was really, really annoying, especially in this Texas heat. But let's start it and see if it comes on and how quickly. All right. Oh, right away. Air is blowing, it's on. Fantastic. Apart from getting rid of the stinky exhaust smells from outside, this is really what my motivation was, because it's so damn hot. It's like 104 degrees on a daily basis, maybe even hotter on some of these days. And not having the AC come on right away was really getting to me. Oh, I'm so glad it's working and working quickly now. No more AC delay. Praise the Lord. Oh, God, I'm so happy. I don't know if you guys can tell in the video. I'm so happy. All right, I'm gonna go home. My wife's calling me. Bye-bye. You know, I'm not sure if the seat cooler fans are tied to that function as well. I know the seat coolers in the back were working, the seat ventilators, and I don't know about the passenger seat because I don't sit there. But on the driver's seat, I would turn it on, the lights would come on, no blinking, no errors, but I couldn't feel any air before. Now, after I fixed that and the AC's coming on right away, I notice that my seat cooler is blowing air. I was just thinking, oh man, the seat ventilators are just real junky on this newer LX570 compared to the old one. But I think it had something to do with the AC going into error state, along with all the other weird delays and things going on with that flapper not working correctly. I honestly think the seat ventilator and the driver's seat, and maybe the driver and passenger in the front, are tied to all that mess somehow. I know the rear ones were working though. My butt's being cooled down now. I love it.